Hello, Kevin. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I am doing phenomenal, Elijah. Thank you for having me on here. It's such an honor.
Beautiful, and thank you so very much for being here. You see, I truly appreciate you. And you see, my man, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, Kevin, I want to say thank you so very much for investing in yourself. You see, my man, you are on this platform right now because you did invest that in yourself. And oftentimes, Kevin, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. Say some couple of months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, Kevin, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I used to want unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, my man, just recently, I was on that same road. And this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree, you see. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance. And immediately, I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did. And it wowed me. Because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it. Beautiful green leaves and healthy branches. And not just mangoes now, Kevin. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely experience that day. And I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Kevin that you are today, that alone has made it impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you got the request from me to be on the show because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing, your philosophies, your insights, the impact your work is having, and how you are offering your solutions, my man. These stuffs are beautiful. And just before I sent you that request, Kevin, I said to myself, I've got to benefit from these beautiful things Kevin is doing. And not only me now, because I don't want to be selfish, and even with the audience. And here we had a day with the amazing Kevin. So thank you so very much for doing that to yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thanks so much, my man.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm honored to speak to your audience and give them some helpful tidbits about my journey and what changed my path, where my fork came in the road, and how I made the choice, and what that choice has meant to me from that day forward. It
Beautiful.
wasn't always
Yeah, go on,
it,
please.
it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows. There were many of stormy days in my past. I was somebody who abused alcohol at an early age and didn't didn't see what the future actually held for me for quite some time. It was about an 8 year period where I was abusing alcohol. I acquired 3 DUIs and I spent 10 days in jail. I woke up to a friend driving me home from a wedding that I bartended. Um, I had gone in, we were all camping outside, and I had gone into the gentleman's parents' house to sleep on the couch for his dad to meet me with a shotgun. That day, on that drive home, I had to make a decision. Either I was going to continue on the path I was on, and I was going to be in and out of jail, in and out of rehab, and possibly lose my life, or I could admit that it was my fault and it was my choice that led me there. Shortly after, I read a book by Stephen Covey called The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. If your readers haven't seen it, haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. It lays the foundation for a great mindset and a way to move forward in life. There was one quote in there that really grabbed me, and it said, "Until one can deeply and honestly say that I am who I am today because of my choices yesterday, then I cannot choose differently." And what that meant to me is that I made the choices that put myself where I was. I made the choice to drop out of college in my junior year. I made the choice to abuse alcohol. I made the choice to do everything I had done that led to that point. But it also meant that I had the ability to choose differently. And from that day forth, I chose differently. I chose to invest back into myself, to start reading leadership books and business books, and to master the craft in which I was in. I had left the education. I went to Quinnipiac University and I got into Parker College of Chiropractics to go to grad school. I decided not to go and had moved back home to help take care of the family. In the meanwhile, I still had been abusing alcohol. I acquired the third DUI. The other incident happened. And while I was on parole, I had taken a trip down to Florida and I had read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. When I got back home, I enrolled in all the educational classes I could for the collision industry. And over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, I became an expert in the field. I grew the business I was at, managing them. We scaled it from about 700,000 in sales to almost 2 million. When I acquired it, we were, investing in people, in systems, in the environment, and it allowed us to really scale. I went on to purchase the business and then exit it 3 years later. In the meanwhile, we had grown it to a little about 3 million in sales and 15 employees overall. So it allowed me to not only put my feet in front of me and take steps forward in life, but it allowed me to empower other people as well. So knowing that I had a choice and knowing that I could choose differently was very enlightening. So
Amazing.
yeah. So I had recently heard a quote at a John Maxwell conference in August. And somebody said, "Will you choose to be the light in a dark room?" And that can go for yourself in your own life as well. Just because you're surrounded by darkness doesn't mean that you can't choose to be the light in that darkness. I was telling this story to another gentleman a few months ago, and he's a big man of faith. And he said to me, he goes, "Kevin, you realize that through your rainy season, you were able to grow." He goes, "Every crop needs a rainy season. Without the rain in the dark, the sunshine cannot do its job either."
Very true.
And it just really kind of, made me take a step back and say, wow, that is very true. That is very true.
Tell
So
you, man.
if not for the rain, we end up with a desert, right?
Right, right. And thank you so very much for sharing this wonderful quote. I tell you, that's amazing. And one thing I learned about your story is when you seek knowledge and you apply it, transformation becomes inevitable. The fact that you came across that wonderful book and the informations in it, the quality informations in it, you took them and you applied them into your life now. And look at the result. Amazing. And you took that further step by getting necessary books and educations and leadership and all of these stuffs. That's amazing and that's very inspiring. Thank you so very much for sharing that. So I've got some questions here for you. Are you ready for me?
I am.
Okay, so let us talk about showing up and taking ownership. So, what early lessons did you learn about showing up and taking ownership?
So early on, I learned through athletics, primarily football, that if I showed up and I put everything I had into practice and everything I had into games, that things would turn out well, that people would see the way in which I carried myself, the effort I put forth, and they would follow. Their effort would increase. I found that if I was responsible for a mishap during a play, during practice, the more I put it on my shoulders and said it was my responsibility and that I had fault and that the outcome was because of my choice, my action, the easier it was for people to also admit that, and the easier it was for them to look past it. This is something that was not lost on me in adult life. I had learned to accept blame, accept guilt, and it made it much easier when it came to the hard situations, to hard conversations with people, to say that, hey, you know, this is my fault in this process. How can we make this better? How can we avoid this next time? And when it came to leading other individuals, they felt comfortable with saying they had made a mistake because I was quick to tell the team when I screwed something up, when I made a mistake, when I blundered. So they saw that I was human and I did not expect perfection, but I expected people to strive to be better all the time.
That's amazing, and I got that. I got that. Trying to be better all the time and not perfection. Progress, not perfection. I got that.
Yes.
So why did you start Upward Path Coaching and Consulting?
So after I exited the collision business, I took a couple months to think about what I really wanted to do. I was actually speaking with my accountant, going over a couple business purchase ideas, and she caught me and she goes, "Kevin," she goes, "You're not excited. You're not excited about all this." She goes, "We're reviewing mechanical businesses I was thinking about buying," and she goes, "You know, last year you had mentioned coaching these couple of young individuals in your business," and she goes, "You were so excited." She goes, "I have not heard you that excited about anything else." And I thought about it, and I really did enjoy coaching these people up in life and in business. And so I thought to myself, well, you know what? I ran a successful business. I was able to build it. I was able to build the people. I can help others in the blue collar world do this. People in trades, electricians, plumbers, landscapers, other collision industry folk. And so I launched Upward Path Coaching and Consulting. I went out and I joined the John Maxwell certified team of coaches, trainers, and speakers. And I got my certification doing coaching and training. And I decided that leadership is what all boats rise and sink on. So if I could teach leadership, it would make such a large difference in people's lives and in their workplaces and in their employees' lives that the that I would find such fulfillment in that application of the leadership training. As we've gone on over the past 7 months since I founded the company, it has changed. It has developed. It's gone more from coaching and consulting business to leadership,
Wow,
and that is really where my passion lies.
that's amazing, and that's so good to know. So what types of businesses do you help?
I help anybody in the blue collar trades. So, auto mechanics, I help car dealers, I help collision centers, plumbers, landscapers, carpenters, anybody who's looking to build a business who doesn't want to work in the business, but wants the business to work for them. So I always tell people you're either working for your business or your business is working for you. A lot of people who open these type of companies were very skilled at their trade. They were very good electricians. They were very good uh, carpenters. So they opened a business doing that. And it works well until you get up to a certain level. Then you've got a couple employees, and all of a sudden you're wearing 4 or 5 different hats every day. You're not doing what you love to do. And you didn't realize that you didn't know a whole lot about business until you're trying to scale your company. You're working on marketing and sales strategies and building a business model. And until they understand that they have to learn all this and acquire all this knowledge and put these things in place, then they just try to work harder. They try to work more hours, and it doesn't pay off for them. They get burnt out, they get stuck, and they get frustrated. So I'm really here to help people build a business that works for them, not that imprisons them.
Mm, business that works for them and not imprisons them. I got that. And that's a fantastic one you're doing because we really need it. Thanks so much, my man. Yeah, so we have two more to go. So, what leadership habits do you consider non negotiable?
So the first is leading yourself. You cannot lead anybody until you can lead yourself. And that means working on your personal growth every day, always striving to be better, to expand yourself, to expand your ability, your knowledge, your connection, your influence. By constantly educating yourself, by meeting new people, expanding your world, you can open opportunities for leadership by understanding more. So, first and foremost is leading yourself. And and then I think that the next is creating genuine connection with people. If you can't connect with them, you'll never get beyond being what we call a level 1 leader, where you just rely on your position and your title to influence people. I because I said so, I'm the boss kind of thing. People don't resonate with that. People resonate with those who can connect with them on a personal level, on a professional level, and as human beings. If you feel that somebody values you, you're much more open to listening to them. We always like to say that people don't care how much you know until people know how much you care.
That's so true, and I got that. So, finally, okay, what does leadership is measured in hearts mean to you?
So I had heard a quote maybe 8 months ago that states true leadership is, is measured in the hearts of those we intend to lead. And so I think this plays really well into your question, where leadership isn't measured by the amount of sales we have or if we were able to grow the team. Leadership is measured in influence, and influence happens in people's hearts. Like we were just talking about connection with people. If you can't connect and you cannot win people's hearts over, then you can't lead them. So the more hearts you influence, the more hearts you connect with, the more leadership influence you have, the more work can be done.
Exactly. It's all about influence, and that deals with the heart. I got that. So, finally, Kevin, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those folks who would like to reach out to you, learn more about the wonderful stuff you're doing, or even ask you questions. How can that be possible?
Yeah. So you can reach me on LinkedIn, Kevin Deanna. That's D apostrophe ANNA. You can find me on Instagram, the Kevin Deanna. And if you guys message me leadership, I'll send you over a free leadership guide to get yourself going, some practices to work on to build better habits, and some quick team reference stuff to work on your teams with.
Amazing.
Also, I'd like to just leave you guys with one quick message. There there's a simple message for today that I wanted to talk about in this podcast, and that is being willing to work on yourself and working on personal growth and allowing personal growth to change you, not being afraid of that change. It may get a little lonely. People may not understand what you're trying to do because you're trying to change yourself on a fundamental level. And it's okay. There are others out there who are willing to understand or are able to understand, who are walking that same journey as you are. You just may have to reach out to find them. But don't let the people around you, their lack of understanding, them being scared of your changes, stop you from becoming the person you want to be. You have the choice, and solely you.
I got that. We must develop a bulldog determination and stay focused. Do not allow what anyone is saying to, take you away from that beautiful path. I got that. So that's gonna be the end of the show, Kevin. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing this wonderful stuff with us. It means a whole lot, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.